There's a lot of information flying around about what is assault weapons and assault rifles, so I'm going to help clarify. Let's talk about what a rifle is, especially when we talk about an AR-15, which seems to be the most popular modern rifle in the country. When we look at the traditional view of the AR-15, it can be taken as a sum of its parts. Not everything you see here is a rifle. If we look at it from the perspective of a law, you'll understand what I mean. So let's start there. Well, legally, what's a rifle? Since the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is not the name of a local convenience store, but that of a federal agency with a strong opinion about guns, how do they define in this case what's a rifle? Starting at the top, the upper receiver and the barrel are parts that are not considered a rifle. These parts can't function alone and can be swapped out for a different bullet chamber and can even be replaced due to wear. Granted, most people will never wear out a barrel, but it does happen, so they can be replaced. Next is the grip, the stock, and the trigger. These aren't a rifle either. These parts can be changed for added comfort or better ergonomics when shooting. Finally, we do have the lower receiver. This is the only part that is legally considered a firearm. The reason this is considered a firearm is because this is where the fire control grip is installed. Basically, that consists of the trigger and the hammer. It's going to fire, and the chain of events starts here. That's why the serial numbers and the manufacturing stamps are located on the outside of this part. Now legally, you can't alter, other than paint or add some personal decorations to the lower receiver. Once it's been sent from the factory, it's regulated by the ATF, and sales go through a dealer with a federal firearms license. So did you get that? The upper receiver and the barrel, not a rifle. The grips and the stocks, not a rifle either. The lower receiver, this is legally considered a rifle. So why is that important? Well, any federal, state, or local government can create a bad list, and they can put your guns on there. In California, it's a felony to own these rifles just because the make and the model. And other states across the nation are looking to implement similar laws. The legal go-round is to dump your named lower in favor of a non-named lower that you make at home. It's not just the serial numbers that you need to worry about. Every single word that you see here is something for a gun control advocate to use to outlaw your gun. At one time, it may have been cool to have a brand name like Sig Sauer on the side of your rifle, but you've just made yourself target for every gun control freak in the US. And if the government ever tries to force you to give up your branded rifle, do what millions of Californians did and replace your branded lower receiver with your self-manufactured part. Either they dropped off at a local law enforcement, outlawed brand name lowers with a smile on their face, they may eventually get around to it. You need to preserve your investment and your right of ownership. So here's the lesson. This is a rifle. This is not a rifle. And what you can do is swap out your branded part for your unbranded part. And by doing so, you can protect your freedoms from tyranny, oppression, and subjectification. Learn more. Go to redarmory.com.